Let's go now live with our special envoy, Yunus Soner, who is in Caracas for more updates relating to the return to the Homeland mission. Hello, Yunus, what can you tell us?
Hello, good day from Caracas, Venezuela. We just returned from the Simón Bolívar International Airport that lived a historic day with the arrival of 261 passengers from Mexico. Why was that a historic day? Because these passengers were returning home. They were returning home within the plan of return to home, and they were received warmly with a band playing the hymn and other musical works of Venezuelan culture, and they were also received by the Venezuelan Foreign Minister Ivan Gil at the airport. They have been brought to Venezuela. They decided to return to Venezuela voluntarily, of course, and they took part in a government plan that enables people who have no means to return by themselves to be assisted, and take government-organized planes. So this was a flight of Conviasa, the flag carrier of Venezuela, that brought these 261 passengers to the airport of Simón Bolívar International. Here, the foreign minister of Venezuela made a short statement, held a short speech welcoming the Venezuelan citizens. He said, "This is your land, this is your country, this is your soil." Ivan Gil made quite an enthusiastic speech, actually. He emphasized that Venezuela is in recovery, in economic recovery, that it needs all the hands and all the minds it can get to continue this recovery. He said that he does not blame any of the immigrants who had left Venezuela. He does not blame them at all. He says he knows that they were misled by false hopes of a good life. And he also emphasized that the reason for that was, the basic fundamental reason for that were the sanctions of the United States directed against the economy of Venezuela. But again, the foreign minister was more optimistic, and he invited the immigrants to take part in the recovery, in the let's say resurgence of the Venezuelan economy in the days ahead. Their return is part of a plan of a great mission of coming home, as it's called here, that started as a plan to return to Homeland. Now it's called the Great Mission to Return to Homeland, and it does not just consist in organizing the transfer from abroad to Venezuela. It also includes different steps of reintegrating these citizens into the Venezuelan society and economy. It starts with judicial assistance, it starts with bureaucratic assistance, so that these citizens can register themselves in the Venezuelan system, and it continues with cultural assistance as well as socio-economic assistance to reintegrate them into the economy, into the society. And we just talked to some of them, and they stated clearly that the promises of a better life abroad, be it in Mexico, be it some of them even had made it to the United States, were false. So they were quite happy to return. And we observed at the airport a quite positive, warm atmosphere on both sides, of course, on the side of the minister and his assistants, as well as on the side of the Venezuelan citizens who carried Venezuelan flags. They were smiling, they were happy, little children among them. They were happy to be back in Venezuela, and they are now being transferred to their home cities if they live abroad of Caracas, or to their neighborhoods if they stay in Caracas by government buses. 20 buses, I think, are organized for that purpose, that will carry these citizens first to their homes. As the foreign minister emphasized, first task is that they re-meet with their families, their friends, their neighbors, their beloved ones, and then, as the minister said, the integration process will start that will lead to them joining the recovery of Venezuela. The Venezuelan foreign minister also stated that since that program started in 2018, the government had assisted more than 500,000 citizens in returning home. He emphasized that there were diplomatic meetings and agreements with Mexico enabling these transfers. He called also other countries to join the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela in its efforts to enable their citizens to return home. As I said, this is a voluntary return. This is a service that the government offers to those who want to return to Venezuela and have no economic means. The minister said that beyond those that the government had assisted, more than 1 million had returned to Venezuela also by their own means.
Thank you, Yunus, for the updated information from Caracas.